Hi everyone, welcome back to the Controversial Podcast. In today's video, we'll be talking about Vusimuzi Madlala and the nephew of President Cyril Ramaphosa, Hangwani Maumela, who apparently bought a luxury vehicle for about 52 million rand, and that money was looted at Tembisa Hospital.
Satisfy the onus in terms of Schedule 5, that onus being that the interest of justice do permit his release on bail. There was nothing untoward or suspicious in his conduct. He had always cooperated with the SAPS and RDEC. He had always appeared. There was no instance where they had requested him to appear and he hadn't.
That cell phone in prison is a means to communicate to the outside world. And that is a risk to the state's witnesses. That is a major risk, as it is, my lord, by the very nature of these crimes. By the very nature, these witnesses are in fear for their lives, and rightfully so. So, my lord, the fact is that the behavior of the appellant is not that impeccable.
The publications are busy saying Hangwani Maumela is a businessman, but why can't they just call these guys criminals, because that's what they are. They're busy losing taxpayers' money like it's nobody's business. Let's start with Vusimuzi Madlala, another alleged businessman, and I don't know why we keep on addressing this guy as a businessman, because this is the guy who masterminded the attempted murder of his then girlfriend Deboho Tubijani. You know, it was an attempted hit because she didn't die, and that's why he's in jail. You know, it's so painful that Katise Molefe is out on bail. Consider the things that he has done. If you've been listening to Matlanga Commission, I mean, Katise Molefe is part of the presidential cartel, allegedly, and him and Madlala are part of that cartel, and they have done horrible things to whistleblowers, to investigating officers, and to other people who have double-crossed them. So it's such a shame. But we should be thankful because Kat Madlala was denied bail. Can you imagine if he was given a bail? Katise Molefe was given a bail, and apparently he bribed a judge and allegedly received about 2.5 million rand, and that was Judge Ledwaba. So that's about it. Probably Vusimuzi Madlala tried to bribe the Johannesburg High Court, but he failed. I would say allegedly because we don't know whether he tried to bribe the judge or not. And that's a win for us. If you've been following the Matlanga Commission, these people are doing horrible things, and they're actually sending threats to the investigating officers. I mean, one of the investigating officers that was giving evidence before the Matlanga Commission, that is Witness B, said horrible things. She said investigating officers are deleted like it's nobody's business, and she read a very painful SMS there. That person who was sending that SMS said horrible things to that witness. I'm just going to put the clip so that you can hear how horrible these guys can be.
Ya wena ntombazane uyabona lokho kuphapha kwakho ukuthi ungaphila abantu i-bail sesikuphe i-30 sekuofarisha i-30,000 manje ke sizokudubula nge-AK47 because wena unamasende eswini. And then it went on to speak about family, as to we've been following you and then for the 8 days, and then we know where is your home, we know who's your family members, we know where are they working. However, he stipulated to say, but they are not involved, but you are the one because you don't want to behave like a female, you behave like a man rather, so we'll deal with you like a man. And it further says, when you drive, just check in the robots because you'll never know when we'll hit.
And you say that despite these kinds of threats, this case in particular has been worse.
Yes, commissioners. This one, it has been worse, because at that point I knew that I was dealing with a criminal and I was ready to face him off. But in this instance, I'm not looking at the criminals only. I must look over my shoulder amongst some of our own. So it's so hard, and you don't know exactly who we must look for. It makes it very hard. And you know for sure that it's very easy to be killed in this situation where some of your own are involved, because we know each other.
So Matlela was denied bail in September at the Alexandra Magistrates Court. That was after Magistrate Prinsloo ruled that he had failed to demonstrate exceptional circumstances justifying his release and found that he posed a flight risk. The state opposed to the bail, pointing to Matlala's access to a private jet, foreign assets in Mauritius, and a possession of a fraudulent Eswatini identity document. Matlala's lawyer, Advocate Lawrence Holtz, argued that the state misled the court by claiming the accused owned a private jet and a boat in Mauritius, and said there was no evidence of either asset and therefore nothing to indicate that Matlala was a flight risk, and further stated that Matlala had been aware of the investigation since December 2024 and had consistently cooperated with authorities, including undergoing 10-hour interrogation. So the state previously said Matlala was found with a mobile phone during a raid at Kgoshi prison. The guy was just busy communicating with people that are outside. Maybe he was planning the hits. We don't know. We've actually heard that Matlala was communicating with the Minister of the SAPS, Senzo Mchunu, even though he's denying everything. But the investigating officer stated that they have discovered that Matlala indeed was communicating with the SAPS Minister Senzo Mchunu, and I just want the ad hoc committee and the Matlanga Commission to invite Vusi Cap Matlala, because this guy is going to sing. And by the way, I feel like they're going to use Vusi Cap Matlala as a scapegoat. Look at Hangwane Maumela. He's outside because he's related to Cyril Ramaphosa. Could it be that Ramaphosa is also part of the cartel? I just don't know whether President Cyril Ramaphosa is part of the cartel, because even the investigating officers, they were like, you know what, Matlanga Commission, we're not going to reveal everything, but we are telling you right now that Katiso Molefe and Vusi Cap Matlala are part of the cartel, but we're not going to disclose other people. Like, ask yourself why Hangwane Maumela is not arrested, even though the SIU has done investigations and also took his luxury cars and everything, and also seized one of his properties. Why is Hangwane Maumela not arrested? So now we're going to talk about Hangwane Maumela. And apparently, according to News 24 publication, they have done some investigation, and apparently Hangwane Maumela bought a 52 million rand hypercar with Tembisa Hospital cash. I can't believe this. Like, you loot the money to buy a car that is about 52 million rand, and we should call you a businessman. You mean that 52 million rand was just wasted by one single person, all in the name of a tender? Just imagine this 52 million rand, what it could have done at Tembisa Hospital. Tembisa Hospital is a mess. They don't have beds, let alone the right machines. I'm talking about cancer machines. They have nothing, but this guy is splashing so much money. It's such a shame, and it's also painful because President Cyril Ramaphosa brought nothing in this country but cartels. We only have cartels, drug cartels, criminal cartels, tender cartels, you name it. So he purchased this 52 million rand Italian hypercar. According to News 24, Maumela allegedly used funds siphoned from Tembisa Hospital tenders to buy a Pagani Haury Roadster. I can't even pronounce the name. I hope I'm not butchering it, but it's a Pagani Haury Roadster. Please leave a comment in the comment section if I'm pronouncing it wrong. And apparently, it's one of the world's most exclusive supercars, and they've stated that they only made about 100 cars, and Hangwane is owning that car. They further stated that financial records reportedly show the money trail leading from hospital procurement contracts to the luxury purchase I think the Minister of Health was right though. I'm talking about Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi when he said in China, once you do corruption, once they do an investigation and found that you've done corruption and you looted some money, they just kill you just like that. What can you do because you are threatening people? You're going to assassinate them. So the best way is to just execute these people. And I think our government should look into that because we cannot be played like this. We cannot. Clearly, there's a lot of money coming in. SARS is collecting a lot of money, but the high unemployment rate in South Africa is very high. The government should just consider to just close down the tenders because clearly this is a mess. It doesn't matter what criteria they use to get the right people to get tenders. South Africa will never move forward. They will always collect tax, but at the end of the day, who's benefiting is the criminals because our government is ruled by cartels. What can we do at this moment? We now know because of Matlanga Commission and the ad hoc committee. The SIU also seized his luxury cars, designer goods, and fine arts. I think that was revealed about a week ago, if not 2 weeks ago. So we need to connect the dots. I'm saying this because when the SIU came out with that report, it seemed like Matlala is a small fish. There's big fish here. Matlala is just a small fish. Maybe Hangwani is part of the big fish. I don't know. And I'm pretty sure they've looted more than 2 billion rand. I still suspect that. I feel like they're just disclosing this 2.3 billion rand. It's more than that. Probably they have looted 50 billion or more than 50 billion rands. I'm not only talking about Tembisa Hospital. If you are actually watching how these cartels are doing, how these cartels have captured our ministers, I'm sure they've looted a lot of money, even trillions. I'm not exaggerating at this point. I believe that because all the government institutions are a mess. You cannot get service delivery. Like, it's such a huge mess because of the African National Congress. Just because they're just trying to root out the corruption in these organizations. How many whistleblowers have died? A lot of them. I think we should just change the constitution. Anybody that has been found doing corruption or have looted money, they should be just executed. There's no way we're going to end this in South Africa, whether we remove the African National Congress. Secondly, we should just end this thing of tenders. This is the main problem. People are killing each other because of these tenders. You report corruption, you are killed because these people are working with top cops. CBI is implicated, judges are implicated, the prosecutors are implicated. Who should we trust? The correctional service is also corrupt because we've seen how Thabo Bester engineered his escape. That was a prison break 2.0. We've had the former minister, Bheki Cele. He was very honest in that committee and said, we don't have to look at the police only. Yes, we have to look at the SAPS, but we have to look at the judiciary. We have to look at the courts. Prosecutors are working with these people. If you're a prosecutor and you don't want to comply, you are going to be deleted. You are going to be deleted just because you want to do the right thing. It cannot be that just one individual can just chow billions. One individual, because this person is connected with the president, because Hangwani started looting in 2018 or 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Please stop voting for the African National Congress. Let's have a discussion in the comment section. Do you think South Africa can be saved? Please like this video, comment, share it. I love it when we share this video and liking it. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to be respectful when you're commenting. Let's build a community that is respectful. Bye. See you on the next episode.